Looking to transform your family game nights? At Perfectly Picked Games, we specialize in family games that bring everyone closer. Our games aren't just fun. Kids and teens will learn how to take turns, develop basic strategy skills, and understand the thrill of winning and grace of losing. With our exclusive gift of games, you can give months of gaming excitement to your family. Choose a 3-month or 6-month gift, and we'll deliver hand-picked family games to your doorstep every month. And here's the best part. Right now, you can use the promo code GOLDENMOJO and receive 20% off your selected plan. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Use promo code GOLDENMOJO and save 20% today at Perfectly Picked Games.
Welcome, my little ghouls and goblins, to the United States of Paranormal, where every shadow hides a secret, and every laugh, well, let's just say, it's a little more than sinister. I'm your twisted tour guide. Ha 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 ha. And oh, isn't this just the perfect time for us to meet in the cold grip of October, when the veil between the living and the dead is thinnest. Now sit back, turn off those lights, and join me, if you dare, for the tales that will twist your dreams into nightmares. Because here in October, with the United States of Paranormal, you're never really alone, are you?
Hello, all of my paranormal freaks out there. It is I, Golden Jay, hanging out with
the Rocker Chick
and
J-Dub.
And welcome to Clowntober. We finally are here.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Why don't we have like red balloons behind us? Yeah. Anyways.
Did you need red balloons?
I don't know.
I'll have them for the next episode.
All right.
Do 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 do.
You could always put like
circus music.
No, like what is it? Photoshop balloons in here.
Definitely could attempt it. We'll see how it works out. Oh man.
Oh man.
Well, welcome everybody as the month of October and Tucson's busiest month happens. Are you ready to start all of the clown madness?
Yeah.
Oh. So guys, listen. There ain't going to be any banter at the beginning of this episode because the Rocker Chick says that her episode is super long. So sit back, tie your balloons to your chair, put on your red nose,
Honk, honk.
and your floppy shoes. Your floppy shoes.
Your big old grin.
Big old grin.
I don't know. Some of them have sad faces.
Why?
Your clown makeup.
Serious.
Oh.
That's my favorite clown. Oh, before we do get started, there is just a hint bit of housekeeping that I would like to do. Once again, don't forget to go check out perfectlypickedgames.com. Show a little love, getting to be the holiday season where you could pick up a nice subscription for a family of maybe your neighbors. Maybe they like to play games. Go check out perfectlypickedgames.com. Also, go check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Tucsop. Got a lot of great shit coming down the pipe there for the top tier. And check out the website because every month it changes up. And I've been working at trying to be very good. But this month, the month of October, let me announce the fan of the month. And I kind of blew it. I blew it last month. Zach is a great listener, and he deserves to be fan of the month. And it was on the website from the very beginning of September. I promise. Awesome. I promise. But as we record, and I'm thinking this in my head, I want to announce the fan of the month on the website is going to be none other than the clown himself, And it's his favorite month. His birthday is this month, and he loves clowns. He loves horror. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Fan of the month is ISO Kim. We love ISO. He's been on the show, friend of the show. I think he likes fucking Call Guys better than Tucson. But
Oh,
Rude.
maybe this will put us over the top, and we'll become his new favorite pod in the Golden Mojo Empire. But congratulations to ISO. And I do believe our spotlight of the month is the old hospital on College Hill. So there's a big write-up on both of them on our webpage, UnitedStatesParanormal.com. Go check it out. And while you're there, go check out our merch store. Because all of the Clowntober merch is on there.
And
Don't
it's
get excited.
badass.
It is. It's so fucking cool. I'm loving it. Don't forget that we have re-released the Vamptober and the Dolltober merch just for the month of October. So if you missed out over the last couple years and you want to go pick up a really cool Vamptober shirt, because that fucking design is amazing. Also, here
Everything
is your
he
chance.
does is.
Oh, Esteban is so good. He did the Celestial Stag. He done the Great White Bald Beaver. Actually, everything that you see pretty much on our website is all original designs from the mind of me or Logan, or I don't know if Matt was in on those. He might have been on the early stuff, but Esteban puts it all together for us and does these great designs. We just come with him. This is what we want. We want a tent and a clown.
Yep.
So, yes, he puts together some great stuff. So, yeah, go check it out. UnitedStatesParanormal.com. All right. I promise not a lot of banter. The Rocker Chick is ready to kick off Clowntober.
kicking it off.
All right, here we go.
I'm ready.
And here we go.
Oh,
You're not supposed to cough coming right into
I
it.
know it's you're going to get that a lot. All right, we're going to start off Clowntober with the history of clowns.
Ooh.
The roles of clowns throughout history. While clowns are the highlight of many parades, circuses, and carnivals, the history of clowning goes back much further. From ancient Rome and medieval times to the North American Indians, the history of clowning around can be seen throughout the ages. Today, we recognize clowns as over-the-top figures with bright makeup, crazy clothes, and large footwear. However, they didn't always have this appearance. Understanding the history of clowns may lead you to a new appreciation of these important figures in history.
Really?
Really?
Important figures. in this-
figures.
Okay.
The first clown sightings, the history of clowns, dates back to 2400 BC,
Oh, wow.
as the first recording of clowns was found in ancient hieroglyphics in the 5th dynasty of Egypt. It was thought that clowns served a socio-religious role, as the priest often played the clown role as well. Gestures were found in 300 BC. China, under the reign of Emperor Xin
Good job.
in 100 AD. India, clowns acted as interpreters, translating the Prakrit language in the general population. Do you know any of that?
Listen, I opened up a fortune cookie the other day, and all that was listed on there.
Ancient Greece and Rome, the history of clowns in ancient Greece, led to the popularization of clowns in shows. The clowns of ancient Greece were often bald-headed and wore additional padding in order to appear large and chubby. Performing in plays, they would poke fun at the serious villains of the play and throw peanuts at the audience.
Oh, wow.
Roman clowns also made the appearances in dramas. The Roman mime would wear a pointed hat and act out different scenes within the play, providing clown entertainment for the audience. Middle Ages and Renaissance times. Throughout medieval history, fools and gestures can be seen entertaining royal courts and town citizens. Their job was much more than simply collecting laughs. These ancient clowns were used to reinforce religious values as well as display cultural values to their audiences. They were a catalyst for a change in social culture. In the 14th century, the juggler in full appeared in the tarot cards, depicting a new start and the ability to leave a safe place to discover new opportunities. This gave clowns an almost magical aura. Magical. The history of clowns in North America is dramatically different than the history portrayed in Rome. Several North American native tribes use clowns to play a sacred function, often revealing the truth about a given situation in a comical way. Some tribes thought laughter opened up the spirits to the gods. Clowns were also used to keep order amongst the Indians during social gatherings. Clowns, known as contraries in the Cheyenne tribe, would make tribe members laugh by doing everything contrary to the traditional way, including riding horses backwards and walking on their hands.
I've ridden a horse backward. I'm a clown.
You're a clown. The circus. Although the circus originated in ancient Egypt and Rome, the first modern circus was introduced in 1768 by Philip Astley in England. The first clown act was so popular that Astley hired more clowns. It then became an anticipated part of the circus for the next century. Many famous circus clowns made an appearance in circus shows across the country. Circus clowns served no higher purpose other than making the audience laugh and helping people to forget about their stress. Through the ages, the types of clowns and the roles that they portrayed have changed significantly from culture to culture. Not only are they an important part of the North American culture, but the rich history of clowning has a place in cultures around the world.
Nice.
All right. That was the history.
That was the history of the clown.
The history of the clown. Did you know they were around?
No, honestly, I did not. But
I don't even know when 2400 BC was.
Yeah, a long time.
A long time ago.
Were there dinosaurs? No.
Writing on the cave walls.
they wouldn't eat the clowns because they tasted funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did not. I did not know they'd been around that long. Wow, that's. I thought they all started with. I honestly thought they all started with like the Big Top, and
The Ringling Brothers.
Yeah. When I started doing the research on this, it was like, well, no, I can't just start with circuses. I thought about jesters. They were like clowns,
right?
Back in the castle whatever era,
in medieval times.
Yeah, that time.
Words are hard.
So anyways, so that's I went back and got further information.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Oh shit, I saw the star in the rainbow.
Okay.
All right.
The scary clown has become a horror staple. Featuring Art the Clown as the main villain in the movie Terrifier 2, it is so gruesome that there are reports of viewers vomiting and passing out in the theater. And every Halloween, you'll see vicious clowns stalking haunted house attractions, or trick-or-treaters dressed as Pennywise, the evil clown from Stephen King's It, which we all know. That's why I asked for a red balloon. Anyways, it can be hard to imagine a time when clowns were regularly invited to children's birthday parties and hospital wards. Not to terrorize, but to delight and entertain. For much of the 20th century, this was the standard role of the clown. They were entertainers. They weren't scary.
They're there to help you de-stress and laugh and
That's
forget
right.
about your problems.
That's right.
Yeah.
However, clowns have not always had a dark side. Before the 20th century, clowns in American circuses were largely considered a form of adult entertainment.
Wow.
Will you explain that?
I sure will.
Well, that's a different adult than I was thinking of.
Drunken, lewd clowns in drag.
Sounds like we're back in New Orleans.
For most of the 19th century, circuses were relatively small. One-ring events, where audience could hear performers speak. These shows were rowdy affairs in which audiences felt free to yell, boo and hiss at the performers. Typically, clowns would engage in banter with the ringmaster, who was often the target for the clown's pranks. Circus clowns use puns and exaggerated burlesque humor. One very popular clown act, which Mark Twain depicted in The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, involved a performer disguised as a drunken circus patron who shocked the audience by entering the ring and clumsily attempting to ride on the show's horses before dramatically revealing himself to be part of the show. Famous 19th century clown Dan Rice was known for including local gossip and political commentary. We have some of those last night, I think, in his performances and impersonating prominent figures in each town he visited. The jokes they told were often misogynistic and full of sexual double entendres, which wasn't a problem because circus audiences at this time were mostly adult and male. Back then, circuses were a stigmatized form of entertainment in the U.S., considered disreputable for their association with gambling, grift, scantily clad female performers, profanity, and alcohol.
All of my favorite things.
Oh, jeez.
Church leaders regularly warned their congregations not to attend the circus. Some states even had laws banning circuses altogether.
That would be Kentucky. I kid, ISO. I kid.
And of course, clowns played a part in the circus's seedy reputation. Showman P.T. Barnum noted that part of the appeal of the circuses consisted of the clown's vulgar jests, emphasized with still more vulgar and suggestive gestures. Clowns also subverted gender norms, with many appearing in drag, often exaggerating the female figure with cartoonishly big fake breasts.
I love how you said that.
In the early 19th century, some circuses also featured a separate tent that contained a cooch show. Male patrons were invited for a fee to watch women dance and strip. Some of these performers, including clowns in drag, playing gender-bending pranks on dumbfounded men who expected to see nude women. In a shocking revelation, Davis also noted that at some cooch show performances, gay clowns had sexual encounters with male audience members during and after anonymously crowded scenes. These clowns, suffice it to say, weren't for kids.
Boy, is it getting hot in here? Is it just me?
Oh. All right. Now we're on to when the clowns clean up their act. It wasn't really until the 1880s and 90s when entertainment like Barnum made efforts to clean up the circus to draw in larger audiences, that clowns truly became associated with children. After circuses started traveling by railroad, they could carry more equipment, allowing to expand from one ring to 3. Audience could no longer hear the performers, so the clown became a pantomime, a comedian, eliminating any potentially vulgar or suggestive language. Circus owners, aiming to make as much money as possible, tried to court a broader audience, including women and children. That necessitated the removal of any scandalous acts and strict monitoring of their employees' behavior. So Jeremy doesn't want to go to the circus
I don't want to go to
anymore.
the circus now. I want to go to the Cooch Show.
No fun circus.
That should be the next name of my next album, The Cooch Show.
Crickets.
Oh,
I thought it was funny.
the shows with the most staying power, like Barnum and Bailey's Greatest Show on Earth, were known as Sunday school shows. Free of any objective content, they successfully portrayed themselves as the purveyors of good, clean fun. Clowns played a role in this transformation. With now silent acts focused on physical comedy, their performances were easy for children to understand. Clowns remained tricksters, but their slapstick comedy was seen as all in good fun. This had a lasting effect. Clowns entertained families at the circus, and as entertainment moved to film and television, child-friendly clowns followed there too. Clowns became staples of children's entertainment in the 20th century. A popular television program featuring, who knows?
Happy.
Bozo!
Bozo the clown.
Bozo!
I'm going to talk about Happy and Happy's place.
Happy the hobo?
Yes.
This bit says nothing about Happy.
I know, because he was Fort Wayne native. That
You want a bozo button?
You got a Bozo button?
I probably do.
So, yes, Bozo the Clown ran for 40 years
Holy shit.
from 1960 to 2001.
Now, question.
Yes.
And I know you probably don't have the answer to that, but was that the same actor that did it for those 40 years?
I am thinking it was.
Yeah?
I don't remember.
That's a curious thought. Jen's going to look it up.
All right. Beginning in the 1980s, clowns became regular visitors to children's hospitals to cheer up young patients. And companies like McDonald's use clowns as mascots to make their brands appealing to children. We all know his name, Ronald.
Love Ronald.
But in the 21st century, there's been a sharp turnaround. A 2008 study concluded that clowns are universally disliked by children today. Some point to clown turned serial killer John Wayne Gacy as a turning point, while others may blame Stephen King's It for yoking clowns to horror. So we went from clowns in history to being good, to being raunchy, to being kid-friendly, and now we're scared to death of clowns. At least most of us are.
It is an interesting twist because, like you said, there for the longest time they were there as entertainment to help you relieve yourself from stress and to have a good laugh and it's interesting the concept of the growth of the clown as far as the drunk, rude, and lewd act in the circus to go into a 3-ring circus where you're not going to be able to hear him speak because it's so big. And probably in those early days they didn't have microphones and amps and stuff like that, to people fearing them when they see them and people getting so upset. It's insane, that turn and how it's kind of made that transition. But insane. Did you find anything?
2.
There was 2 different ones?
Two different ones.
Bozos. Okay.
Right on.
Jen answered your question.
I needed to know. The more you know.
All right. Moving on from the history of clowns, we are going to talk about one specific evil clown. Real evil clown. John Wayne Gacy was dubbed the Killer Clown. And he looked like a Stephen King nightmare come to life in those creepy photos of him in full pogo makeup. But most of the time, even after he confessed to raping and killing dozens of victims and was convicted and sentenced to death, Gacy looked and sounded so ordinary. Like somebody's blowhard uncle, the kind of guy who bragged a bit too much in a pathetic attempt to make himself seem like an important guy with impressive connections. Okay, the year is 1992. One of the most notorious serial killers in recorded history sits in the warden's office at the downstate Menard Correctional Center, wearing a button-down short-sleeved shirt, his gray hair slicked back, a silver watch on his wrist. He is about to have an extensive interview recorded on video with legendary FBI profiler Robert Ressler. Asked why he is speaking for the first time about his case, Gacy says, "In light of all that has been used against me in the media, they've created this fantasy monster image, and it's been going on for the last 12 years. And I've never had no comment. And I had no need to talk to the media for the simple reason that they were looking for sensationalism, and they were looking for the monster. The idea that I'm a homosexual thrill killer and all that garbage. They painted this image of me like I strolled down the streets and stalked young boys and slaughtered them. Hell, if you could see my schedule, my work schedule, you know damn well that I was never out there." Yet somehow the bodies of 29 victims were found on Gacy's property, and 4 more bodies were discovered nearby, and it's possible there were more victims. Richard Roper was a newscaster, I want to say, around this time.
Okay.
And he wrote this. This is his view on what he saw at this time. He wasn't, at this time, when the Gacy whole thing started, he wasn't a reporter, but he became a reporter and wrote this. "I was 19 years old and living at a home in the south suburbs in December 1978. When I saw the shocking footage on the local news of grim-faced law enforcement personnel carrying body bag after body bag from Gacy's home in unincorporated Norwood Park Township near the far northwest side of Chicago. We all would later learn the average age of Gacy's victims was just 17 and a half years old. The oldest was only 22. They had really just started living their lives. Here we are more than 40 years later, and Gacy remains a figure of repulsion and fascination with the Peacock series, just the latest and perhaps most extensive look at the story." So Peacock did a whole thing on Gacy. "We've had countless books and documentaries, the 1992 miniseries, To Catch a Killer, and even a cheap 2010 indie horror film called 8213 Gacy House. 8213 was Summerdale being the street address for Gacy's house. In the 1990s, as Gacy remained in the news, when stories surfaced about the possibilities of other victims, or in the build-up to his execution in 1994, or when his name would come up because someone was buying his paintings or putting his image on a bubblegum card, I was writing news and cultural columns for the Sun-Times. On more than a few occasions, I wrote about John Wayne Gacy. He was in the news, and I wrote about the news. In one of the most chilling experiences of my life, I was given the opportunity to examine evidence against Gacy, which remained stored in a musty room years after his trial. The square-shaped wooden entranceway to Gacy's crawlspace, grisly photos of bodies and body parts, envelopes containing high school class rings, photos of Gacy's bedroom with a clown painting on the wall, and a TV and a clock radio that had belonged to one of his victims. A piece of rope Gacy used to strangle victims. Jackets worn by his victims. Their driver's licenses. Gacy's appointment book for 1978 and 1979. And Gacy's hand-drawn diagram of the crawl space, showing where some of the bodies were buried.
Ugh. That's like with the story Peter told with the heads in the glass jars in the basement. Yeah.
So there's a whole room just for Gacy's.
All the evidence.
All the evidence.
That whole house needed to be in there.
That's quite the collection of stuff that he had there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Class rings, IDs. Oh, man. You say he hand drew
Where he buried the bodies.
where he buried the bodies down there? Which means that every body that he buried was very precise and he knew exactly who that was.
But as he stated in his interview, he didn't have time. He was working.
Yeah.
The wooden entranceway to the crawl space where John Wayne Gacy hid victims' bodies was stored along with other trial evidence. It felt as if pure horror existed in that evidence room. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Gacy's so-called artwork became popular with certain collectors. A nightclub in Beverly Hills commissioned a show of his paintings, some priced as high as $20,000. The curator of the show said idiotically, "There's a lot more to John Wayne Gacy than 33 murders." Johnny Depp bought a Pogo the Clown painting, but got rid of it when he learned the fee wasn't going to charity, as he had been told.
Oh.
I talked to a 28-year-old man who was selling a Gacy sketch of Ted Bundy on eBay. "I made a mistake by buying this," he said. Not sure selling it was any less of a mistake. Burning it sounded like a better idea. For a decade after the Gacy house was gutted and eventually torn down, the lot remained vacant, collecting weeds and broken booze bottles courtesy of the steady stream of tourists who would visit the site. Eventually a new home was put up, and the numbers on the address were changed. The new home was easily the biggest and most impressive dwelling on the block. In 1991, I spoke with the elderly man who lived there with his grown daughter. "The past is the past," he said. "See those marks on the front lawn? A bunch of kids on motorcycles rode up, right on the lawn, making all kinds of noise. People come by all the time, but I don't know what they want. This is just a house now." In the early 1990s, I visited with Dolores Nieder at the Ravenswood home where her son Johnny Mowry grew up. Mowry, a 19-year-old college student, was the 13th of Gacy's 33 victims to be identified. Dolores and I spoke just after Walter Jacobson had aired a 5-part interview with Gacy. "To my great relief, I don't think Walter is glorifying him one bit," Nieder told me. "He's showing Gacy for the mope and the loser he really is. He's trying to claim he's innocent. Can you believe that? What a pathetic jellyfish." But the interview reminds me that all these years after Johnny is gone, this guy gets to watch color TV, to eat what he likes, to play with his computer, to paint his pictures of Elvis and Jesus and the clowns. Why should we have to know about Gacy's little hobbies and habits? My son liked to fish and play pool. He was a good kid, a regular guy. I wish people would remember that. I wish people would remember the victims. I just ask people to keep one thing in mind. This man took 33 lives and destroyed the lives of hundreds of living victims. 33 is such a big number. If you get 33 people together at work or had a party for 33 people, think of how large a gathering that would be.
Mm-hmm.
And then picture the one man systematically killing that many people. That's who John Wayne Gacy is.
Yeah, he was a dick. I went to the Museum of Death in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. We walked by it, yeah, a couple times.
They had his stuff in there.
Really?
They had paintings. I think they had letters too. But they had it from all the killers, like serial killers and stuff.
Yeah, we didn't make it there. We had talked about going, but every time we kind of walked that direction, they were closed.
Yeah, I think it was just because they're probably just open on the weekends or
Right.
whatever. So
Yeah, it was weird.
Interesting.
that's my scary clown.
So
Johnny
Now
Wayne
that
Gacy.
There's a new place there. I wonder if it's haunted.
That was okay. That was a thought process when you said they rebuild a new house on top of it. Is the new place? Is there any paranormal activity there?
I don't think so. By what the man said, he's like, why is even people
Right.
bothering?
Yeah, it's just a house.
Just a house.
And even if
So
it is, like the people that moved into my old house,
they don't know.
they say that they don't have any experiences, but he might not be open to it. It could be happening and he just doesn't acknowledge it.
Right.
Because that much murder and bad, evil juju, you would think there'd be residual at least.
Right? Yeah, you would think.
I love Johnny's mom's comment because it actually makes you think. Mm-hmm. Makes you think 100% that this man took 33 lives, and you break that down into 33 separate people and 33 hobbies or things that they were good at. Family, right? He liked to fish. He liked to play pool. Who's to say that this guy was just learning how to play guitar or, had just bought a wedding ring to propose to his girlfriend?
17 and a half years old to 22 years old. They had a long life to live.
Absolutely. Interesting. You don't think about it that way. You don't think about it that way. You think about that name and what he did, and then you just like, oh, that's terrible. He killed 33 people. But you don't think about the victims of it.
Correct.
Yeah, that's something I'll continue to ponder for a while. Huh. That was a lot. That was a lot of information.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot of information, but it went by really quick.
It did go by really quick.
It was good.
It was. It was very good. Yeah,
No, come on, you guys. You got to bring it. You got to fill in all these gaps.
Fill in all
Clowntober has kicked off.
it has been kicked off.
You learned so much about clowns, now you hate them even more.
The United States of Paranormal at gmail.com. Yeah, that's a lot to ponder as far as John Wayne goes. So I guess I shouldn't call him John Wayne. Let's just call him Gacy. It's a lot to ponder with him because I haven't really thought about all that, and especially the paranormal side of it. I wonder if there is any activity in that area. And yeah, got a lot of thoughts in my head right at the moment. So
I got it.
And that is how we're going to kick off Clowntober.
Well, that's good. We got the history.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, she did. She said to me, she goes, hey, listen, can I go first because I want to do the history?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's perfect. That would make a lot of sense. We'd get a chance to talk about the jesters and the Roman Empire and the people that they had there and the makeup and, all that stuff that goes with it. So very cool. Very, very, very cool.
That's good.
All right, guys. Well, I don't really have anything else to talk about. How about you?
I don't. I really don't.
Okay. Well, it looks like this episode won't be as long as we thought it was going to be.
Everybody put your Halloween decorations up if you haven't already.
Get out there. Put
Get out
the big
there. Yeah.
put the big it clown outside your house.
Scary.
And don't forget, we're going to be live on Halloween.
That is right. We're going to be live. So you can bring all your questions or whatever you want to bring along. But come check us out. Hang out with us.
Bring your friends.
Absolutely. On Halloween, probably, like I said, about 7:30, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I gotta make sure you put that in there, Eastern time.
Eastern.
We have fans from all over the United States. And you know what? To be honest, I was looking at the thing the other day, and we have fans from the UK and Russia and China. And you know what? The United States Paranormal at gmail.com. I would love to hear from somebody from across the pond.
That would be awesome.
That would be amazing. I would love that. So hit us up. Send us an email.
And make sure October 19th, put it in your calendar. We're going to be in Peru, Indiana at Para Unity.
And you know what Peru is, right?
Circus Capital.
It's Clown Town.
Yeah. What time does it start, the con? Do you know?
I think it starts at 10. I think it goes from 10 to 6.
Okay.
So we will be there all day, hanging out. We'll have buttons and some postcards with all our information on it, and whatever else I can come up with is just giveaways, stuff to hand out to all the people coming through. Plus, we are going to do a raffle for a free T-shirt. But as you sign up, that puts you on our email list. So be prepared.
Do you send out a lot of emails?
Yeah, send out shit tons of them. But we're going to start trying to get some sort of email list going on. But, we want you'll have to sign up a little bit of information. And we will do, I don't know when we'll give it away. Maybe Halloween.
And
maybe during the live.
There's going to be a surprise for Golden Jay at the con.
Oh, my. It ain't a pack of adult diapers, is it?
Possibly.
Always looking forward to surprises. Yes, super excited to be doing all these things. The live, the Para Unity, and hopefully another investigation sometime after the first of the year. So we're working it all out.
Yep.
All right, guys. We're going to get out of here. Thank you for tuning in to Clowntober. Keep it spooky. I'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the United States of Paranormal podcast. Check us out at theunitedstatesofparanormal.com, where you can find our Spotlight of the Month, Fan of the Month, and all of our amazing merchandise. Or you can find us on social media at Facebook at the United States of Paranormal, Instagram at the United States of Paranormal, and YouTube at the United States of Paranormal 1795. And don't forget, we are now on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/2sop.
Please check out the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts. The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, Indiana Chiefs Fans, Golden 80s, The Gridiron Kings, Murd Nerds, and A Quart of Books and Booze, all of which can be found at goldenmojoent.com or wherever you stream your favorite podcasts.
And if you have a location or a story that you would like for us to check into, please email us at theunitedstatesofparanormal@gmail.com. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you listen. Thank you for all of your support. Bye.